the menacings of Tinubu's sacked ministers. After spending weeks away from the country, President Tinubu came back with a bag full of violence. For his first major move after resuming his presidential duties physically, he fired 5 ministers on Wednesday, October 23rd, and replaced them faster than most people replace their exes. Why did President Tinubu fire these guys? Let's give you the gist. Minister of Women Affairs Uju Kennedy. Barrister Uju's sins were many. Here are some of them. She threatened the victim of sexual assault. In September 2023, a leaked audio recording surfaced online where Uju Kennedy was heard threatening to jail a female student from the University of Calabar. This was particularly insensitive because the student was among those who had spoken out against UNICAL's suspended Dean of the Law Faculty, Professor Cyril Indifon, for sexual harassment. She ended up apologizing a few days later after a group of over 500 women's rights activists demanded a public apology from her for working against the interests of women in Nigeria. She said she didn't need to do anything to promote female inclusion in governance. During an interview with Arise TV, Uju was asked what policies should be implemented to promote female participation in governance under the Tinubu-led administration. In response to this question, she said,
"When it comes to President Bola Tinubu, believe me, I don't need to do anything."
This didn't sound like the response one would expect from the Minister of Women Affairs, who is passionate about female inclusion in government. She justified spending 1.5 million to fuel 6 vehicles in her convoy. In July 2024, some members of the House of Reps raised concerns about some of the former minister's suspicious expenses. They wanted to know why her ministry spent 45 million on a New Year party, 20 million on sanitary pads, and another 1.5 million on fuel for the convoy that accompanied her on a work trip to Anambra State. In response, Uju expressed surprise that she could even be challenged for spending millions on fuel. She started a petition to end the mass marriage of orphans and retracted it. In May 2024, Uju Kennedy took the Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly, Abdul Malik Sarkindaji, to court after he decided to marry off 100 orphans to help reduce the orphan struggle. In what would have been recognized as one of her most commendable moments in office, Uju stood her ground and insisted that the mass marriage wouldn't hold. A few days later, she took 3 steps back and agreed with the Speaker. The orphans were married off despite heavy criticism from Nigerians. Minister of Education Tahir Mamman. Minister Mamman also had issues. He banned under 18 from tertiary institutions. On July 18, 2024, during the policy meeting of the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board (JAMB), Mamman announced that students under the age of 18 would no longer be given admission into tertiary institutions in the country. This minister's directive drew much outrage from stakeholders at the meeting, so he shifted it to take effect in 2025. Minister of Youth Development Jamila Abiu Ibrahim. For someone who was the youth minister, many youths didn't even know her. In July 2024, while Nigerian youth plans to protest against bad governance and extreme hardship in the country, the minister said there was no need to protest because the government is already addressing these issues, and also because the economic hardships we are facing today is not limited to Nigeria. For some time now, Nigerian youths on X have complained about the minister's reluctance to communicate with the demographic she was supposed to represent, by sometimes refusing interviews and also locking her X account. This led to some of them calling for her sack way before Tinubu reshuffled his cabinet. Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development, Abdullahi Gwazo, he wasn't active enough. Since he assumed office, Gwazo has not been involved in any major controversy, but he has one sin: inactivity. Apart from news about his dismissal, not much is written or known about the minister's performance. Minister of Tourism Lola Adi John. Unlike Gwazo, you could say the Minister of Tourism was fairly in the news. However, her ministry did not have much to show for it. During the anniversary of her 1 year in office in May, the minister mentioned her key achievements. However, none of them had any tangible effect. On a different occasion on October 7th, the minister hinted at a poor budget as the reason why her office was not doing all that it should.